there a question from panelist of Isohe, please?
Can I come here for 1 second? I mean,
Okay.
I think, Dia, you know that, and you alluded to it, medicine is not a linear science, and this is one of the great difficulties. Of course, you uh, change all the information we have because each patient or situation is totally different. You may have two diagnoses which are exactly the same age, the same sex, the same, etc., the same even size, but the disease behave differently inside the body, as we've seen in COVID, etc. That's number one. Secondly, as you mentioned, is the data. Data in medicine never improve. It will never be improved, and that's and I tell you, this is one of the difficulties we encountered. I mean, I always regard Britain as the best country in data collection for about 300 years in the world, yet it's incomplete. I mean, we've been trying from the 80s for record linkage. I mean, when I was the head of the health authority, we tried hard to linking the record of patient between primary, secondary care, all these referral. Until today, we don't have it, So it's easy to say that data could be improved, but technically, it's impossible. So my question is that I assume we will work on hypothetical data in machine learning. We work more on estimate. Is that the directions in machine learning and AIs in the future?
It is non-linear. It is the game of AI, by the way. Non-linear is the game of AI. So okay. Yeah, so that's one thing which is important. The second thing, it is actually, if you go to some of the European country, I'm sorry, Professor Jamila, I'm just taking over because I think I am excited to see people. So I'm really sorry. If you go to some countries like Sweden, yeah, they have everything linked, okay, in terms of because in the UK, we have a problem with the authority, local authority. Each local authority, when they develop their system, they develop it in different language and different, when I say computer language, yeah, and different databases. And this is why they couldn't. And by the way, we had a disaster about 15 years ago when they spent about £5 billion trying to put things together, and they could not put them together because of. However, things has changed now. You know why? A simple development in the technology have made us with the Internet of Things, and this is what, with the Internet of Things, have made us collect data. Do you know how many people do you know, Dr. Salman? How many people do you know that they collect their data about how many steps they do per day? What is basically what is the heart rate, and all? People start collecting data automatically, and because of the smart watches and everything, and the new generation will change things. And by the way we connect data now is different. I'll give you just a little bit about my dream about the data. I am working with 5 universities in Iraq, trying to build, call it, patient management system in Iraq. Okay, and that patient management system will everybody will put their data in it. But the most important thing is not the data just coming from these from these five universities around Iraq. The idea is to make that patient management system intelligent enough, will react according to what will happen. If there is a place where everybody having cholera or everybody having something, then it will react, it will know, it will inform the authority. So what we need to do, we cannot, we don't need to depend on the past. Let's depend on the future. Let's look at countries like Sweden, where they have everything connected. And at the same time, the NHS, because of this problem, they will spend in the next 5 to 7 years pushing so much money to link all the authority together. And you as doctor guys, you should push for that. If we don't link it, we will have problems and problems and problems. But things will get better. As I said, the AI different than human because it loves non-linear. And answering, no, we are not going to build on simulation only. No, we are going to build on real life data, and we are working on that. We need your help as medical doctors. We will help like your society guys to start building, collecting real data. This is what we need. We don't need publication. We need real data to be collected, and we started somewhere. And I think if the outcome of this conference or this workshop to start building a little database now, in 5 years it will be a big thing. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Finally, okay, now any question from the panelists?
Yes, can I comment?
Okay, Dr. Khalid.
Yes, thank you very much for the speakers and all those who put questions. Apologize because I came late to the meeting because I was driving. It's very important that the data collection are essential. That's why sometimes we predict an organism from the the genetic library, and unknown organism, we will find it. Now, the other thing, the data collection can help or speed the diagnostic process, no doubt about this. And the biomarkers are based on this. However, a human being is different, and especially when it comes to infectious diseases, the infectious diseases are not as simple as predicting the weather, because it is simply interaction between two biological systems, and it is very hard to predict that. Experience is very important. Why I'm talking about experience? Because you will end up and have a sea of data, and you don't know which one is important. I mean, Google is one of the storage of data, and those who are less experienced, they just take anything from Google and talk about it, and what happened in COVID. Now, it is very important to have a data. If you look at the compendium, not the BNF, the big book about medicines, you can find any medicine can produce any complications. However, with experience, we learn that these are the complications that common in this medication. So we need to have a balance between the two. Otherwise, we will end up having robotic medicine, and intelligence cannot replace university, because learning is very important and has to be handled under hand. I mean, there should be a teaching process, and we learn quite faster if we have the artificial intelligence. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Jamila. Please answer the question. Or
thank
any
you.
comment about?
Thank you, Professor Khalid. That was more of a comment, and I agree with you. It's actually the challenges we are facing today. We don't quite have clear answers for that. Yes, the previous question as well about the collection of data, and that it's not perfect, and it's been trying in the most developed economies and countries to collect that. I would agree that probably one of the solutions is Internet of Things, would be the efficient collector of data. And just as Professor Khalid said, there are so many issues, and we have to think about how we manage that in terms of efficient, meaningful, ethical data collection, storage, and analysis. Actually, we have the world today saturated with data. And when we talk about actually the things we teach to kids, there is a concept developed by actually British educationalists that say that from the very first steps of education, we need to teach kids how to search things and how to believe things. This is, we have to teach them at school. How we go, just the simple data they find on the internet, how they teach them how to believe and how to not believe. And this probably we have to start from the very early stage at school. As for the medical data, yeah, there is a demographic data, clinical data, biomedical data, all these biomaterials, a lot of genetic data. And we are still in the beginning of trying to process how we actually unite this paradigm, how we do that. And I would agree to all the challenges arise today. And just as we name them, as we actually spread awareness about them, probably this will lead to finding like some solutions. First, we have to identify the challenges. This is the first step. and identifying challenges which will give us the opportunity to try to find answers for that. Because so far, some challenges hasn't even been identified. So, for example, the same ethical issues, which is arising now, and as Professor Diaz said, we are some decades behind in terms of technology and ethics. So let's just identify challenges. Let's just talk, meet, discuss, and give our concerns. And that will be actually a part of very fundamental way. And this is a fundamental stage to identify the challenges on that difficult road.
Can I add just one thing, because Dr. Khalid raised something very important, the word learning and the word experience, and that what AI going to do. AI going to learn from experienced doctor like Dr. Khalid. Dr. Khalid will be say Dr. Khalid is one, yeah, but there are some other people around the world like Dr. Khalid with some experience less than him, maybe, or the same level as him. And then we will have the technology in the future, near future. When I say in the future, near future, the system will learn from what Dr. Khalid going to deal with some of the diseases, yeah? And from that, the system will learn and become more experienced. And we have it simple, we have it with and by the way, this is still not that intelligent, but which is basically, if you look at Google Translation, the more you give, if you examine it, the more you give document to it to translate, the more is learn, the more having more experience and getting better and better and better in translating. And that is even not is a touch of intelligence. I do believe that the doctor cannot be replaced at all. No way. As I said, like autopilot, no way. However, Dr. Khalid, I cannot take him to every village in around the world. But how can I use Dr. Khalid experience in every single village in the world if I have a system, or at least semi-intelligent system, that can replicate what Dr. Khalid going to decide on some of the symptoms? And that's very important for us in the future. And then slowly, the system will become more intelligent. But yes, we will never be able to replace a human being. However, we will be able to enhance the medical practice and the learning of even medicine.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Rafet Aziz, you have a question?
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Dr. Nathan. I would like really to thank Dr. Dia, Professor Dia, and Professor Jamila for the excellent presentation. I mean, this is one of the best I have attended, and so many things that came to my mind. As a medical director for the urgent care services in 5 counties, including Cambridge, Peterborough, and Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire, I think I agree with you. We need to have the correct data. We need to have the data that we trust, and that depends on us as clinicians, as Dr. Dia mentioned. Unfortunately, we waste about 10 to 15 years, as Dr. mentioned. This was when money was spent on the NHS fine and all failed. The reason I feel because they concentrated on having one system. In Sweden, they succeeded because they have different systems. But the trick is that these systems can talk to each other. This is the point. And that's, we discovered that, but unfortunately very late, but it's not too late. We are there now. I just talk about experience we have in our area now, in our counties. Now we started to communicate between systems. Now we have to data between secondary care, primary care. I mean, Professor, mentioned earlier about in the past, yes, it was difficult. Now, as we have the system to communicate between different systems, now I think we got what was missing. And now we are heading towards, we have like a good communication between all the systems, so we can access secondary care, primary care. And basically, I will trust the AI for the future. I'm sure that this is the future for us. The clinician will be there, but there will be speed in doing things. I mean, the speed, as it took us tens of years to produce one vaccine, while it took only 6 months to have the COVID vaccine. Why is that? I'm sure technology and artificial intelligence work on that. Thank you very much indeed again, and I hope that we can see you again and again. And I hope that I wish you all the success. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. It was really very informative talk and lecture to improve our knowledge about the role of artificial intelligence in education and pandemic disease control. We will meet you in near future with a new trending subject. See you and stay safe, please.
Thank you very much indeed. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.